Good day, everyone.
I was born and raised in Detroit. Growing up there, I saw people like me running things.
This is a courtroom, not a circus, so we're gonna calm down.
I'm sorry.
What I found there was a passion that I didn't know existed.
This is the bottom line.
I'm excited to free fall into the limitless possibilities with we the people. So many are fearful of the law. They think it's something that works against them.
I think you need to begin to accept responsibility for your mistakes.
We are the people.
Magazine editor Valerie Johnson claims her assistant wore and damaged her designer suit and deleted photos worth thousands of dollars.
All rise.
Tasha Green says Ms. Johnson refused to pay her, and she's countersuing for $1,500.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
This is the case of Johnson versus Green. Ms. Johnson, you are suing Ms. Green for $10,000 in property damage. The defendant, you are countersuing Ms. Johnson for $1,500 in lost wages. Is that correct?
Yes.
Plaintiff, you say the defendant owes you for damaging a designer suit and deleting photos of yours. And the defendant, you say, you will not accept the blame for that, and you don't owe her anything. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, I'll start with you, Ms. Johnson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My name is Valerie Johnson. I am the editor-in-chief and founder of a magazine. We are one of the nation's leading magazines in terms of African-American lifestyle and culture.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Is it a digital platform, a digital magazine?
It is paperback and digital.
Oh, it is? Wonderful. Yes. All right, you don't see many magazines anymore. I love a magazine. All right, so talk to me about why you're here. You're suing Ms. Green for $10,000.
I am. We have a two-year mentorship program that we offer every 2 years. And I was able to meet Ms. Green as the applicant for mentee for that program, at which time she expressed to me how much the coping section of our magazine helped her. She had a loss of her sister when she was 16, and she said that the coping section helped her. I was very moved by her story, and I accepted her as a mentee.
I'm very sorry to hear about your loss, Ms. Green, and I do understand firsthand how grief can play such a huge role in our lives. Even when we try to move past it, it somehow just still sticks with us. And so finding a publication, I can understand how wonderful that felt. Yes, and so you wanted to be a part of the mentee program for Ms. Johnson.
Yes, that's correct.
And how did you apply for that? Was that an email? Was there an application process?
Well, there was an ad in the magazine, and it did have their email attached, and I did send an email, and I sent them my resume with my college, all of my educational history, and I got an email back. It is in my evidence, the email that I received when I got accepted into the mentorship.
All right, you have evidence there?
Yes.
I'd like to see it, please. And so once you got accepted, that was a great accomplishment for you?
Yes.
What were your duties as a mentee? What were you called to do, or were you observing and shadowing?
I was kind of just a ghost in the background of her everyday life.
Was it like a paid internship, or was it just a mentor-mentee relationship?
It was just a mentor-mentee relationship.
Okay. So, Ms. Johnson, please take me to what brings you here today in court, suing a young woman who used to be your mentee.
First 2 months of our mentorship program, I saw how dedicated she was. I loved her story. So I gave her the opportunity to work for me as an assistant while my executive assistant, Paul, was out on leave. She was dedicated, very hard worker, and I just loved everything about her, everything that you could ask for an assistant. However, things quickly became very weird. When I say very weird...
What happened?
Your Honor, everything that was me, Valerie Johnson, she started doing. She started dressing like... Your Honor, she's dressed like me today. She started dressing like me, wearing the same perfume as me.
And wait a minute, that couldn't have been planned. This is interesting that you're wearing the same coloring with the same...
Your Honor, she Lunchtime, she ate the same food as me. Even when I went to the gym, she was at the gym the same time as I was. Everything got a little weird. However, I did not confront her about it.
Well, you were in a mentor-mentee relationship. She was probably trying to model you, and sometimes when people are inspired by you and model you, it does turn into a form of imitation, and I understand that sometimes it might get a little scary and cross the line.
If it was imitation, I was not
So
flattered.
tell me what was happening. Well, I understand that. My mother used to always say that, Lauren, imitation is the highest form of flattery, right?
It was scary.
And I was just about to say, maybe sometimes it's scary when you start seeing yourself reflected back to you in an unhealthy way.
Coming up,
I figured that she'd be able to get it out no problem. She put laundry detergent, hot water, everything that she could.
Laundry detergent on a $3,000 suit.
Lord.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Valerie Johnson, who brought Tasha Green to court for property damage.
She just crossed the line.
And so what was happening?
So,
Give me specifics.
one day I went to get dressed, and although I have an extensive wardrobe, I also have a very photographic memory, and I noticed one of my suits were missing. However, later I did notice that that suit popped back up in my closet, and when it did, it was damaged.
Do you have a picture of that suit?
I do have the suit.
Can you please submit the evidence? Thank you. This is your suit.
Yes, this is my suit, and when I got it back, it was
Super cute suit.
super damaged.
Super damaged, yeah.
So I did at that time confront Ms. Green about it, at which time she did confess to borrowing my suit without my permission. She destroyed it.
That looks pretty bad. So, Ms. Green, you borrowed, which it really isn't a borrow if you don't ask. You took the suit and you wore it somewhere.
Yes.
And then you returned the suit and it was damaged in this way and you admitted to it.
Yes, Your Honor.
What happened? What did you get all over the suit?
Well, I was talking to someone and they had bumped into me. I was drinking a bottle of wine. Well, a glass
Okay.
of wine, yeah. And it had spilled on the front of it, and I kind of tried to wipe it off, and I guess a little bit got on the sleeves. But then after I panicked, I realized that it was damaged and that she was gonna be very mad at me, and I called my friend who's a fashion major. I figured that she'd be able to get it out no problem. She put laundry detergent, hot water, everything that she could.
Laundry detergent on a $3,000 suit.
Lord. Okay, so you tried to wash it, it didn't work, and that's what
Yes,
you ended
we
up
did.
with. And then you brought it back and you owned up to it.
She put it back in my closet like that.
Well, I was-
Oh, you just set it back in the closet.
She slid
As
it back in the
if
closet.
it reappeared damaged?
I was hoping that she wouldn't had. She has a big closet. I was hoping that she wouldn't have noticed that
just
it
would
went
have been
missing.
under the radar.
I was gonna buy her a new one.
How
I was
old are
gonna
you?
save up. 24 years old.
It's about a 14-year-old thing to do, but 24, okay, you thought that was just gonna go unnoticed. But she had been looking for that suit anyway, so if she ran across it, she was gonna, of course, pay attention to it, because she knew it was missing.
Yes, Your Honor.
So regardless of that, you admitted, I wore your suit, I damaged it.
Yes.
Okay.
Your
And
Honor,
so what was the cost of the suit? Do you have a receipt?
yes, I do. It's in there.
You can continue.
Your Honor, she was very apologetic. However, making a move like that really violated my trust, so I could not keep her as an assistant anymore.
And how long was she your assistant?
She was my assistant for 4 months.
All right, so 4 months. And then once the suit thing happened, you politely relieved her of her duties.
Yes.
I'm
and
not
that's
seeing the receipt for the suit. How much did this suit cost?
$3,000, Your Honor.
$3,000? Where's the other $7,000?
The other
you're suing her for?
$7,000, a couple of days later, I was at work and I was working on our next issue, and I realized that a recent $7,000 photo shoot that we had with an exclusive artist, all of the photos were deleted. I reached out to IT, and at that time, IT let me know that her username and ID was what was attached to the deletions of the photos.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, Ms. Green, do you know anything about these photos that were deleted?
I do not know anything about the photos. I did not delete the photos, and as far as my user ID being attached, I was her assistant, so I handled all of her things like her emails and her personal shopping.
Do you remember this photo shoot?
I do remember the photo shoot.
Did you ever look at the pictures of the photos?
I did. I downloaded the photos for her and I emailed them.
And you emailed them as you were directed to?
Yes, I was.
But you didn't delete them?
No, I did not.
Your Honor, I have a copy of the email from IT
From the IT department?
From the IT department.
It's come to my attention that almost all the photos from Lacey Milian shoot are missing from our files. Is this some kind of glitch? We were able to run some tests, and it looks like they were deleted by Tasha Green. We were able to trace the action to her company ID.
Your Honor, I did delete the photos. Is there any way that I could give them back to you?
Your Honor.
Well, this just in. Well, why? So you happen to have the whole disc of the photos right there?
I'm really sorry, Ms. Johnson. I admired you so much. You're my idol, and when you fired me, it was like my whole world. You meant everything to me. It broke my heart when I had to leave. I acted out.
So this is the $7,000 photo shoot right here?
Yes.
Your Honor, because I usually stay on top of things, I was still able to get that issue out, but I was not able to do that artist feature as a part of that issue.
Well, it sounds like you could do that feature now.
I had to refund them their money.
So you refunded the
artist for the photo shoot, for that $7,000 photo shoot.
So you gave them their money back?
Yes, and I have
because you weren't able to produce the photos.
That is correct.
Your Honor, may I give her the
Yes.
the hard drive?
Do you want the photos, Ms. Johnson? I think you should still take them.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Coming up.
It seems like she is truly regretful about betraying your trust. We're still maturing in our brain space.
You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Valerie Johnson, who brought Tasha Green to court for property damage.
It seems like she is truly regretful about betraying your trust. We're still maturing in our brain space.
Your Honor, after terminating her, I did have a conversation with her and let her know that I was still interested in keeping her as a mentee. I liked Ms. Green, and I wanted to help professionally develop those things that I saw in her.
I hear you, and Ms. Green, you have to understand that when you aren't trustworthy, it's hard for people to give themselves freely, right, to you in the form of a mentor because they just don't know what's coming next with you. So when you get these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, you can't blow it over some pink suit and a file of pictures that you're being vindictive because you're upset that you got fired. You're just blowing the opportunity to have access to Ms. Johnson. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
And that sometimes, you know, you can get caught up in childish things, but at the same time, if you had enough sense to apply for this mentorship program and impress her, there has to be something there, honey. And everybody's got demons to fight.
Yes.
Right? And it sounds like your demon is default deceit.
Coming up.
What are you countersuing her for $1,500?
Well, Your Honor, I'm countersuing her because I worked for her for 4 months, but she only paid me for 3.5.
Girl.
You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Valerie Johnson, who brought Tasha Green to court for property damage.
When you're lying and deceiving people, that affects your relationship with people you admire and who really care about you. So you've returned the disc of the pictures, but she already had to refund the client. How are you countersuing her? I'm trying to figure out. What are you countersuing her for $1,500?
Well, Your Honor, I'm countersuing her because I worked for her for 4 months, but she only paid me for 3.5.
Girl. Did you just state that out in court? I was expecting you to say that, Judge, never mind on that countersuit. So you want your money for the days that you worked that you were fired?
Yes, because
Why do you think you were entitled to get paid for that work when you got caught stealing? Sounds like to me, everybody knew who you were. So why are you in here suing for $1,500 like somebody took something from you when you was the one doing all the stealing?
I don't think that I was wrongfully fired, but I did work those 4 months, and I believe I get paid what I was worked.
She was paid. Her last month, she only worked 3 days, and she got paid for half the month.
And so even after the incident, you paid her for half a month. These are the receipts that I see here in the file.
Yes.
Where she's gotten paid.
Yes.
And the truth is, when you damage someone's property, I mean, you know, it's really not, this is not a criminal court, so I'm speaking in a colloquialism when I say stealing. It means you are denying the owner dominion over something that is theirs. That's what you did with the suit. Conversion, right, which is a tort, which you're liable for. That suit, $3,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you did the same thing with the disc.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake.
I offered to pay for it.
Well, that's exactly why we're here, because you're gonna pay for it. Just maybe this situation will help you grow in maturity and you can learn how to fight the demons that are holding you back. Only you are holding you back. And if you need help, don't be afraid to get help when you don't know how to find your way out. I see you getting very emotional.
And I'm still willing to help her.
Did you hear that? Oh. That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Thank you.
I love you, Tasha. I just want you to make better decisions. I believe in you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. A little grace can go a long way. Miss Green, I wish you the very best of luck. Thank you for showing her that grace.
Thank you.
You didn't have to. And it shows why you've been such a success. I wish you all the very best of luck. Judgment for the plaintiff for $10,000. The defendant's countersuit is dismissed.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $10,000.
Do you have any final thoughts for each other?
I'm just so grateful that you were able to forgive me. You mean everything to me.
Please follow me this way.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.